Welcome back to another episode of Off the Carousel here on the Field of 68. And I'm thrilled to be joined by not only the new head coach at Colorado State, but the author of the single greatest yes moment in the history of the NCAA tournament, Ali Farokhmanesh. Ali, how you doing, man?
Good, Rob. I'm hanging in there.
So, for the people that are kind of watching this that aren't Colorado State fans that maybe don't really know your history, you are the guy that made the three that put Northern Iowa up by 4 against Kansas. There was one of the most famous lines in NCAA tournament history. You can't be serious with that shot. That is a seminal. I'm 40. That's a seminal moment in my memories of being a college basketball fan. Do the kids that you're recruiting know that you took one of the ballsiest shots in the history of college basketball?
No, it's actually it's terrible now because like none of these kids think I can play. So like I don't know. I give off a vibe when I'm just walking around like I can't play basketball, I guess, because all these kids are like afterwards like wait, you played? Like you were good? Like dang, you could actually play a little bit. So I don't know the vibes I get off when I meet people that like scream like I didn't play or something. So I guess it's the being 5'11" and white doesn't help that either.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you bring that thing up on YouTube, I think that's all you got to do is just send them that clip. Just let them know. You got to make sure to remind them a little bit.
100%. And to my staff too, I'll just send them that clip every once in a while. And I just like, just hey, just listen, okay?
So you are a head coach now, and I'm sure you've been asked this before, but let's just put yourself in a scenario where you're up by, let's say, 1 point in the NCAA tournament. You're a 9 seed with a chance to, maybe pick off a national title favorite. There's what, like 40 seconds left, and we'll just say Kyan Evans last year because I don't know who signed. I don't know who you can actually talk about yet, but
Yeah.
let's just say Kyan Evans takes that shot with 30 seconds left on the shot clock, or 30 seconds left in the game, 20 seconds left on the shot clock. You're the head coach. What is your reaction as you see that shot going in the air?
Yeah, just throwing that one out there, right, Rob? Man, nothing. Like if that's especially if it was Kyan, honestly, and like that's all our guys though. If you put in that much work and you put in that much time and I see it on a daily basis, then yeah, I want us to be aggressive. I've never been one to lay up. I truly believe like if you're going to accomplish something great, you got to go for it. And that scenario right there is probably the definition of absolutely trying to go for it. It was funny because in the NCAA tournament, when we were playing Memphis and we were up 8 or 9, like it was kind of right around that range of like, should you be aggressive still? Probably need to pull it out and waste some time with about a minute 30, a minute 40 left. And Kyan actually jacked a three with like 21 seconds on the shot clock. And we were up like 8 or 9 with like a minute 40 left. And he missed it. We got the ball back. Somehow we got the ball back. And he just looked at me. And I was like, I went like this to him because I was like, man, I can't really argue with you. I'm not the right guy to argue with you on that one.
um, that is pretty funny. Are you 36 now? 37? How old are you?
37, just turned 37.
So you're still very young when it comes to kind of your coaching career here, right? And I do think that there's an element of when you're playing, you want to be able to coach confidence, right? You don't want to have these guys, especially shooters, out there thinking while they're shooting, right? You don't want to have them second guessing. Coach might yank me if I miss this shot, but it's also you want them to be able to like. So how do you balance? Make sure you take the right shots, but I want you to go out there and be aggressive and play your game at the same time.
I think you teach them the game of basketball in the sense of what's a good shot and shot selection and the time and the score and whatnot. And I think you teach them shot selection and practice every day, but then you give them the confidence when they feel like it's in the right moment to shoot that shot and they feel good about it. I'm not going to question it, even if it's not the exact moment that we should be taking that shot or the time's not exactly analytically right. It's still based off feel and it's still a people game at the end of the day. Like I love analytics. We'll base a ton of our decisions based on analytics, but I still am more of a feel guy in that sense. And I think that probably comes from playing and a little bit from Coach Jacobson as well. Cause that wasn't, trust me, that was not the worst shot I shot in my career against Kansas. And I think that confidence though that he instilled in me and honestly, it wasn't just that he instilled it in me. I earned that right too. And I think that's the biggest thing is like if you show up every day and you do your job and you're in the gym and you're working on it and I see it in person, well, I'm going to let you have whatever feel you need to have to make those shots in the game. And so I think it's twofold, right? You got to earn it, and then I also have to let you have that confidence as well.
Yeah, I mean that's a great jumping off point for the next thing I wanted to ask you on because I love the story of your basketball, your playing career, right? Because you moved around a bunch as a kid, right? And then you ended up going to I forget what was the you went to a junior college, I think it was Indian Hills and Kirkwood
Yeah.
junior college, right? So two different JUCOs before you finally got those Division 1 offers. So you earned those scholarship offers. It wasn't like something that was given. You went out there and you earned it. So I think that that's something where you should be able to have that confidence that you've put in the work because you're not getting that. I mean, you're what, 6 foot, 6'1"? You're
Yeah,
not getting those
I'll take six
scholarship
one,
offers
Rob.
unless
I'll
you
take
put in
that.
the right. You're not unless you're putting in the work.
No, absolutely. And I think it's funny now, like I'll when I was playing, like I'd always be like, yeah, 6'1", but now it sounds better when I say 5'11". It's almost more impressive. So now I've lost all that insecurities. I'll say I'm 5'11" now. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. And I learned that from JUCO. Like I was the original transfer portal kid. Like I went to two JUCOs, two different high schools. Now those weren't all my decisions either, but I did. Like I had to earn everything that I got from JUCO, and that was the best part about JUCO. It like legitimately dog eat dog world. Like this is your last chance. I know it's cliche to say last chance you, but I knew it. Like the last time when I went to Kirkwood, like it was either I'm getting a scholarship from here and I'm moving on to Division 1, or I'm not. And then what happens? And basketball was everything to me. So I was going to lay it all on the line, and I put everything I had into that last year, and it worked out for me, and got a chance to sign at Northern Iowa after that.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think that if that doesn't happen, where your career and your life takes you, right? Like
No,
it was the time that you put in at Kirkwood to be able to get to Northern Iowa, like that changed the trajectory of what your professional life was going to look like.
absolutely. I still it's weird. God works in mysterious ways, right? I literally tried to walk on at Iowa. So after Indian Hills, I tried to walk on at Iowa. Now, Rob, like my mom is the volleyball coach at Iowa. I went to Iowa City West. Like my high school coach is one of the greatest coaches in Iowa State history. All the connections you need to possibly get a walk-on spot. And I couldn't. And they wouldn't let me walk on. And that was why I went to Kirkwood then. Like that's what drove me there. So I think about that all the time. Had I just walked on, like where would I be today? And then honestly, there's been other jobs even going. So that's my playing career getting turned down from people like that drove me. And then in my coaching career, there was two jobs that I tried for when I was younger. They didn't take me. And now I think about where I would be had I got those jobs, and I would not be sitting in this seat today had that not happened. So it's sometimes your greatest failures are what you perceive to be your greatest failures. Like those were my launching points.
Yeah, I actually that reverberates. I mean, my career really took off when I got laid off by NBC and started the Field of 68. Like I 100% hear you on that one. Um, do you think that so you're in the Mountain West, you're at Colorado State, you're going to be recruiting good players, but you're also not going to be recruiting the Cooper Flags. Does that experience help you relate with the guys that you're going to be getting at Colorado State and the players that you're going to be helping develop there?
Yeah, it's funny. Like I love the guys with the chips on their shoulders. Like
Hmm.
that's because that was me. Like had a giant chip on my shoulder, probably taller than my 5'11" frame, you know? And I think that's the guys that I'm always going to attract. And you kind of when you're recruiting and as a head coach, you attract the people that are similar to you in a lot of ways. And I think my staff reflects that a little bit. We have a staff full of guys that have been at places that they've had to grind their way to wins. Ken DeWeese was at Wyoming. Jimmy Foster was at Bradley. I mean, that they were the epitome of success over like 10 years there under Wardle. That's our staff. I'm always going to recruit those players because I think those are the guys that I'm attracted to. And that was Isaiah Stevens and David Roddy. Something was wrong with them. Every single one of our guys, somebody said something was wrong with them. And I think those are the guys I like though, because those are the ones that stay in the gym. Those are the ones that do the extra hours, that don't complain about anything, that are grateful for what they have also, but also have that edge that they want to go get more too.
Yeah, I mean, look at Isaiah Stevens, All American that ended up playing in the NBA. David Roddy, guy that was a first round pick. You got another one, Nick Clifford, who, by the way, how good is he going to end up being? Like, I watched that dude play, and it's if he doesn't end up being a lottery pick that is impacting a playoff series next year, I'll be absolutely shocked.
It's wild. Like his story like his story is like mine, honestly. Like it didn't work out at his
Mhm.
first place. Kind of got told it wasn't going to happen. And to be honest, I still remember that summer, NBA scouts would call about Isaiah, obviously, and want to talk about him. And I always kept telling them that, like, I think we have another guy that's another NBA guy. And at that point, you had Roddy, you had Isaiah. So, like, we had built up enough of a reputation that we were doing it. But I still, nobody believed me. And everyone kind of was like, we had already seen him and we know what he was. And I think that taught me more than anything, like, you can grow and you can change. Like, that guy was a 21-year-old junior and now and nowhere near anybody's draft boards. Not even a draft board. Like, wouldn't even think about putting him on near a draft board. And now, like, there's a possibility he's in the green room in June. And I don't the story of Neeks, it really is cool.
Yeah, good kid too. He's
Oh.
so easy to root for. We had him on the Mountain West pod that we did last year, and he actually when I don't think I've ever told him that when I was doing that interview, my son was in the room with me because he wanted to. We had some game on TV he wanted to watch, and so afterwards he came over and said hi, and Neek sat there for like 3 or 4 minutes just talking to my son about like some 9U Mount Laurel rec league basketball game that he just played, like it was the most important thing in the world. So it's hard not to root for kids like that.
It's funny, that's who he is too. Like that's daily. That is Neek. You know, like if you would have come to a game at home, that guy is there until like an hour and a half afterwards, just talking to every single person and genuinely giving them their time. Just like your son. Like that's who he is. That's who he's always been.
Now that the college basketball season is in full swing, you need to make sure that you have access to the best betting tool on the market, the Rhythm app. Spelled RITHMM, is a data-backed app that uses AI and analytics to identify inefficiencies in betting lines and the player prop market that will allow you, the user, to profit. You can create customized, analytics-driven betting models tailored to your personal preferences as a bettor. Users have access to up to the second against the spread data. And if you're like me and you understand pictures better than numbers on a screen, Rhythm's internal trend analysis provides you with the kind of graphs that will allow you to evaluate past results and project future performance in a visual way. Every Division I college basketball team is included in the Rhythm's metrics. Free subscribers to the Field of 68 Daily will get 25% off for a Rhythm subscription. Use the QR code on the screen to sign up or download at the link in the description. If you haven't heard by now, we have partnered with BetMGM for the season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we'll have special offers for the listeners and the viewers. Download the BetMGM app and sign up using the bonus code FIELD. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game, and you'll receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets. Go download the BetMGM app and use the code FIELD today. So you mentioned earlier that when you're a coach, you kind of attract people that are similar to you, right? Does that mean that everyone on your staff is the worst dressers in college basketball, maybe colorblind with some of their coaching choices? I've been told that you haven't really figured out at this point in your life how to match your outfits yet.
That's when I'm on the floor. Like when I'm on the floor, like I'm not trying to do anything. Like I'm just here to work now. And I like, but we also all right. So we're at Colorado State. We're green and gold, right?
Mhm.
And on top of that, we have a state pride game. So we got blue, red, and white. Then the next game we have an orange out too. So we have orange colors and orange and green also. So like I'm just playing up to the traditions of what this place is about. Like I'm representing everything that represents Colorado State, you know?
Can you guess who told me to ask you about that?
100% Nico or JR.
It was definitely Nico. So you've spent, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but you spent your entire coaching career working for Tim Miles and Nico Medved, right?
Yeah.
That sounds absolutely miserable.
Yeah, that was tough. I'm surprised I'm in this seat.
In all seriousness, like I think that those guys, I love them both. I think both of them have really figured out the balance of being a competitor and portraying yourself that way while also not taking anything all that seriously. And I think that matters, right? Because at the end of the day, like everybody wants to win, but it's basketball, man. Like you got to have some level of fun and enjoyment, and there has to be something about the experience that is pleasant for you to want to keep coming back. And I think that those guys have figured out how to be able to coach at a high level, do a good job with it, be competitive, and still have a good time doing all of it.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing with both of them to me is their perspective on life, basketball, everything it's elite. And I think that's the difference. Like I was and Nico is a competitive, like he's
Mhm.
competitive. That's like one of his biggest traits. And like after games, that guy, if we win, lose, like you're gonna know what's going on. The next day, he's so elite about how he transitions, whether we won or lost, how he transitions that group into taking the next steps forward. And that's one of the biggest things I learned from Nico is like good, bad, whatever, like we're still gonna grow together. And like these are still young men that they're growing at the same time. Like they're not trying to miss these shots. They're not trying to do that.
Mhm.
Um, they want to win just as much as we do. And I think that perspective and then understanding there's so many other things going on in their lives. I'll still remember the game we lost to Wyoming, right? And we were up 11 with a minute and 5 seconds left. Like one of the worst losses you can have. We lose that game. We're up. We were playing well. 39 minutes, we're playing great at that game. Only 1 minute was awful. We lose that one. We come back. We're playing San Diego State on Tuesday. Obviously, we're getting hounded on social media, like our guys are too. We meet that next day and we don't watch the film. We don't talk about anything in the game. We don't talk about San Diego State. We don't watch San Diego State film. We just go out and play kickball outside. And that was it. And then the next day we prepped on Monday, played Tuesday, and we won by 10. And I think that puts in perspective, like it's not sometimes you do need to get away. And sometimes you do need to change the placebo, change what's going on, and change their mindsets. And that was a perfect example of it. And maybe I would feel different had we not won, but we won, so it feels the story better too.
So give me the kickball scouting report. Who are the guys that were great? Who are the guys that really struggled? Like is Nico a guy like he doesn't strike me as maybe the guy with the greatest leg in the world?
Yeah, not a big leg, more of a bunter. And then Coach Cooley, who's at Minnesota now too, like he doesn't know how to run bases. They had the game; it was 1-0 game, and they had us, and they messed up how they ran the bases, and we pegged him and Joe Deciman, who's from Canada, so I give him a little leeway. Like he never played baseball growing up, so he claims he didn't know the rules. But I'm 2-0 in kickball at Colorado State, so I'm feeling pretty good on my
Well,
end.
there you go. We got to transition that into 2-0 start on the basketball court. Speaking of which, so your both of your parents were volleyball coaches, correct? How the
Yeah.
hell did you end up being a hooper?
So like my first love was volleyball. Like I used to pepper with my mom's players all the time. I used to play short court with them. Like I could still go serve down right now if I needed to. But that was just what I grew up with. My dad was a volleyball player. So that's what I gravitated towards. And those were the athletes that I looked up to. Like Sarah Silvernail, who obviously no one knows on here, was my hero growing up. It wasn't these basketball players. Like I was around Drew Bledsoe, Ryan Leaf, Jason Gesser at Washington State, but I gravitated towards the volleyball players. And then it got to a point where I looked around and none of my friends were playing volleyball either. So I thought I'd change sports.
It really was that simple.
It
Your
was that
parents did
simple. It was just
everything.
like
It's
my
like,
friend.
yeah, my friends don't like this, so I'm going to go play basketball.
I was like, I'm only playing with my mom, dad, and they're players. And at the time, like I'm 7, so I'm like, this I don't want to do this anymore. Like my friends are all playing basketball. Let's go that way.
That's pretty funny. Your wife is a volleyball player too, right?
Yeah, so they actually my parents recruited my wife and she committed to them at Iowa, at the University of Iowa. So she owes my family like $200,000 from that scholarship still. So
Which you got 4 kids. Are they leaning towards volleyball? Are they leaning towards basketball? I feel like you're gonna have a decision to make there at some point.
yeah, they're so my son, well, yeah, I'm obviously 5'11, but my wife's 6'1", like she's actually 6'1". She's taller than me. So I recruited right? I married all my weaknesses. So my son's actually really athletic and tall, and so I never experienced that. But one day he told me, he's like, "Yeah, I was the tallest kid in my class," and I was like, "Man, like what was that like? Like, talk to me about it. Like, how did that feel?" So yeah, we got 4 kids. They all play sports. They're all wild. At 10, 7, 6, and 3. So we're moving all the time.
Yeah. Are they the oldest is your son?
Yeah, Ty. Yep, Ty.
So he's starting to hit the age where it's like you got some travel team stuff to think about. Like he's starting to figure it out. Is it basketball? Is that where he's leaning towards
Yeah,
or
he loves basketball. He loves flag football right now too. He's just kind of an athlete. He kind of does a little bit of everything. My daughter could care less about sports. Like when she found out I was the head coach, she was like, yeah, he'll be a good coach. So she doesn't really care. My middle son is getting more interested into it, and then the baby is a maniac, and he's probably going to be he'll probably be the best athlete just because he's just wild.
Yeah, feel like everybody's youngest child is the maniac of the family. My daughter is she can't care less about team sports. We had a soccer practice last night, and she spent the whole scrimmage doing nothing but just taking her arms in and out of the penny and spinning the shirt around for the 45
Well,
minutes.
she
Like,
had a
yeah,
good
great.
time though.
Oh, she had a blast. She had a blast doing it. So hanging out with her friends, spinning a penny around. So
That's too funny.
it's a lot of fun, man. The last thing I'll hit you with is this: like you've kind of been lucky, right, when it comes to developing in the coaching ranks, where a lot of guys have a job here for 2 years and a job here for a year, and then they got to move here and move across the country. I think you've been at Colorado State since 2018. Is that correct? Last seven
Yeah,
years.
yeah, all 7 years.
Yeah, so is it easy to balance that kind of the family and work life? Like it just feels uh, when you don't have to constantly relocate and constantly move your kids to different schools, that it just there's it makes the how chaotic life is as a college basketball coach a little bit easier for you.
100%. I've been blessed and honored to not have to move around. I know I'm lucky with that. That happens in this industry more than anything else. Change is constant. Like there's no if you're getting into college coaching, like you better be okay with change, and you better be adaptable. We've changed staffs a little bit here and there, and people have moved in and out, but the one constant is I was always with the one constant was me and Nico before, but obviously that's different now. So that will be an adjustment for me, not being with someone that you've been around for 8 years now. That's going to be an adjustment, but you're right though, Rob. Like the best part about, and I have been lucky, is that this has been constant. I've been blessed with the opportunity to stay at Colorado State. I've been blessed to work with great people, and I'll also say this, like I was never chasing a job. I wanted this job. I thought we were gonna win. I thought we were gonna have that opportunity to win. And I thought there was a chance Nico might move on at some point. And I had always envisioned that I would have the opportunity to take this job. And man, the stars just aligned in the right way.
Yeah, 37 years old, head basketball coach in the Mountain West, man. Great to catch up. It's great to see you. Congratulations on the new job and best of luck this season, man. We're doing the Mountain West pod again, so
I
you're going
love
to be
it.
on. Like I need you winning games. We can't have kickball all that often after a loss. I need you winning games.